What will be the state of this company if I am the only one coming up with the great ideas?
Before I start with the video, if you would like the script for Infinite Warfare, this can be found in the description of the video. While it can be used for stuff like God mode or unlimited ammo, I only use it to change my max health, from the standard health down to 1 HP. I do that by clicking on Infinite Warfare, selecting Zombies, going to the health section, and setting the value to 1 HP. You will notice when using this for 1 HP, my screen will be red screen for the whole duration, which may seem annoying, and trust me, it is annoying to play on. Before starting the run, I also had to set my Fate and Fortune cards and choose my weapon variants. Just like my previous 1 HP challenge videos that I've done, I stick to only Fate cards only, except for Irish Luck since that's both Fortune cards and Fate cards. The cards that I went with this time were Shop Class, Scope Dollars, Timely Torrent, Best for Last, and 5-Second Muscle. For weapon variants, I focused on 2 in total, which were the EBR with the Bomber variant and the Stallion pistol with the Marauder variant. With the Stallion, I made sure to bring a Kimbo since that pairs really nice with the Ninja perk from the Marauder variant. With all that set, let's get right into the game.
What have we done?
So right off the bat in round 1, I position myself next to where Neil's head will be placed for power, and I start by taking out 8 cryptids that spawn in. Once there's only 1 left, I open the first door early so that it gives me a head start on getting to the fuse box and positions me near the next door for the next round. Round 2 plays out very similar to what round 1 was like, but this time with 12 cryptids. After taking out 11 cryptids, I open the next door and jump down here to go to where Neil's head spawns, and I wait for the last one to come so that I can finish it off, grab the head, and head upstairs to where I prepare for round 3. In round 3, I let the entire wave play out normally. This is also where I activate my first Fate card, Shop Class, which gives me a free $200. Once the round ends, I open the next door and rush to activate the power before anything spawns for round 4. Now that the cryptids are gone for now, round 4 is just standard zombie gameplay, nothing too fancy, just clearing the round. The only highlight of this round was throwing a grenade at the fuse box and shooting the first skull. Moving into round 5, I grab the EBR and use my Scope Dollars card. The strategy here is to line up as many zombies as I can and hit collateral kills. Since Scope Dollars rewards $300 per kill with 1 bullet, I had some moments pulling in $600 to $1,500 from just 1 shot. At the end of the round, I kept 1 zombie alive so that I could start collecting bridge pieces. First I opened the door to the cryptid table room and went down by blue bolts to get the first piece. When I picked up that piece, 3 cryptids spawned in that I took out. On the way to the next area, I picked up Bang Bangs as my first perk, opened up the cargo room door, and opened up the cargo room portal by pressing this button. Inside the cargo room, I grabbed the second bridge piece and had no cryptids that spawned in. After that, I used the portal to head to the theater, where I picked up my next perk, Quickies, along with the VPR and the film reel for Pack Punch. Back through the portal to the cargo room, I completed probably the hardest step of this Easter egg on 1 HP, which was the second Ghost and Skull step, standing in the circle for a minute. Once that's done, the second skull appears and I dash to collect it. I also picked up the Entangler, which is useful for grabbing the floppy disk to shoot out of the vent and moving the space helmet to hit a monitor in a room sealed off. There will also be times where the Entangler will help as well with the Easter egg. At this point, I found 2 symbols for Neil, one in the medical room and another in this vent. I still was missing a bridge piece though, so I headed back to the theater, opened up the main street door, and picked up the last piece, along with my third perk, Deadeye Dewdrops. With nothing else to do for the moment, I ended the round. Round 6 is where I show the best camping spot in Beast from Beyond inside of the theater. This area is great as zombies will only spawn in front of you, making it very reliable. At the end of the round, I had enough to get the final 2 floppy disks. The first was by the portal once the bridge was built, lying on the snow. While I was here, I went in the portal to use the reel to change up the movie displaying in the theater, and quickly went out to run back to the Bang Bangs area to get ready for the last floppy disk spawn near Neil. The second and last floppy disk is tricky. This requires shooting down the first Phantom. In the video you will see where I killed the Phantom, and here is where the floppy disk spawned, which makes no sense to me. But now, with all 4 Neil symbols figured out, I started placing them in the correct order. In order to know which symbols go in the correct order, you will need to go around the map to find some pieces of paper with the symbols on them. Yeah, just kidding. You go online and look for all the combinations that you can find out of the possible 6. Unfortunately, I messed up one of the placements of the symbols and had to re-enter all 4 of them again. Failing that step spawns more cryptids, which definitely startled me, but you can retry it after killing the cryptids. The second time around, I got them all right and avoided that chaos, and I also was able to grab my 4th perk, Up in Atoms, while doing that. Now it was time to rack up some points for the boss fight. I played through rounds 7 and 8, and at the end of round 8, I picked up the Brute Head using the trap in the theater using the Entangler. I also placed the fuses and Brute Head that I just received to get the charged fuses for double Pack-a-Punch later on. Round 9 was a max ammo round, so it was just cryptids, so not much was really happening. In round 10 though, I played the round out and left a few zombies alive and picked up my final perk, which was Racing Stripes. Rounds 11 and 12 were all about gathering points for the last few items that I needed. At the end of round 12, I used the Entangler to grab the button to use on one of the Beast from Beyond posters and headed back to the medical room to push the button under the desk to begin hacking Neil by turning all the lines horizontal. From there, I opened the final door to make the escort easier and swapped out my VPR for the Stallion pistols. Then I switched from the Entangler back to my Stallions, and back to the Entangler again to escort Neil to a Pack-a-Punch with no zombies spawning or doors blocking you during the process. Once I was at Pack-a-Punch, I inserted Neil at this computer, Pack-a-Punched my EBR, and then double-packed my EBR, and then activated Neil to start the boss fight. Now, this boss fight can be brutal, but with the Stallion pistols that I showed you before, with Akimbo, make it way easier. The enemies will not even notice you when you keep shooting with the Stallions. I'm going to let the footage of the boss fight roll here so that you can see how I handled it, and I'll come back once it's done. Switch back to the AR. Oh, sorry, sniper. Why do I hear zombies? there you are. I don't have the audio on, so just because I was getting annoyed with the grunting of the characters, so once I see a rhino, go for the dang things. The best for last actually helps out so much, though. Is that the rhino right there? It is. All right. Let's go! That's Beast! And with Beast from Beyond complete, that wraps up my 7th Easter egg done at 1 HP that I have posted. If you're curious, I've linked my socials and raw gameplay footage in the description below. If you have any questions or want a deeper look into my strategy, feel free to check that out or drop a comment. Thanks so much for watching. This video took a lot of time and effort to put together. If you enjoyed it, a like, comment, or sub would really help the channel grow. Other than that, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.